Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I have a peg doll tutorial to share with you. Now we're going to make the phases of the moon, all 30 of them, and while this was a great project, I don't recommend doing all 30 phases because most of them are so similar that it's really hard to distinguish between them, but we did want to do this for an entire month so that we could keep track of the phases of the moon. So I am using the small peg dolls. You can find more information about those peg dolls down in the description box. I'm also using some Lyra Watercolor Paints. I really like these watercolor paints for painting on wood because they give a really nice, beautiful color, but it's not completely opaque the way that an acrylic paint would be, so you can still see the wood grain underneath. So I'm going to paint them all exactly the same in this nice beautiful blue color. Now I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do this project, so there is some trial and error. I don't show all the mistakes that I make, but you can read about them if you'd like down in the description box below. Alright, so I've painted all of them, and this is my first trial. I just went ahead and started to paint the phases of the moon using some white paint, and it didn't go so well. So at this point, I'm going to use some Mr. Huey's Shine on all of those painted bases. So I have put those trial pieces aside. I've painted a couple of new pieces. I had intended to put this sparkly shine on after I had painted all of the moon phases, but I decided to put it on first. We're going to go back to polishing up our peg doll pieces with this really delicious smelling polish made with beeswax. Now, the polish works actually better if you do it just on the Lyra paints rather than on the color shine. However, I do like the deep color that the peg dolls are going to have after you polish them up. However, this poses a little bit of a difficulty if you want to glue after you have polished your peg dolls because the glue will not stick. I tried a hot glue gun, I tried some other types of glue, and nothing really worked. So if you want to glue anything on, like for instance the phases of the moon out of felt, you're going to need to do that before you polish up your peg dolls. So here is a comparison between the polished versus unpolished peg dolls. You can see that it's nice and shiny with that polish. Alright, so now it's time to paint the phases of the moon. I am using the white paint that comes in this paint set. I have watered it down quite a bit. That was my first mistake when I was making these, is that my white paint was quite thick to begin with, and it was really hard to get a good phase of the moon by painting with such thick paint. But by watering down the paint quite a bit and using a fairly stiff bristled brush with a good point, it will help you get your phases of the moon a little bit easier. Also, I am holding the peg doll originally kind of upside down, and this actually just helps. I'm right-handed, and it was just a little bit easier for me to be able to do my crescent moons like I would be drawing the letter C. So you can see from my original version versus the second version that I've made them smaller, and that actually helps a little bit, and it kind of fits with the proportion of the peg doll. So a little bit smaller works a little bit better for these smaller ones. Okay, so at this point I'm going to walk you through most of the phases of the moon. After a while it got a little bit tedious because so many of them, when you're doing all 30, look really similar. Now it's not going to turn out perfectly in the end, but at least you'll get an idea of how to progress these very thin crescents to get thicker and bigger all the way up to the first quarter and then the full moon, and then how to make them smaller again. Now mine didn't turn out quite as perfectly as I would have liked because I got to the half moon pretty early on with the first half of the phases. But then when I got to the second half of the phases, we got to the crescents quite a bit sooner. Now this small detail can be overlooked, but if you are trying to be more accurate, then I might suggest printing off the different phases of the moon based on some images that you can find online, just so that your phases of the moon can be a little bit more accurate. Another option would just be to do about 8 to 10 different phases. That way, each of them can be distinct against the others, and you don't need to do all 30. We wanted to do all 30 to follow the phases of the moon for an entire month, but in the future, I will probably make a smaller set that can work for, say, on a weekly basis, because I think that's just as educational as doing the entire set. So something that I ran into that was kind of problematic was as I got to the larger moons, so about half moon and beyond, I found that I couldn't get a nice smooth image with my paintbrush. But then in retrospect, I think it looks kind of neat because it sort of mimics the craters that you would see on the moon anyway. And so then I started to try to make craters by kind of dabbing my white paintbrush onto those moon images because I thought that would look a little bit more realistic and authentic. Here I'm kind of going back and forth between the one that I just painted versus the one I previously painted, thinking that it would look better in that order. And at this point, when you get really close to the full moon, they start to look so similar that it's really hard to judge how to make them slightly bigger and then eventually slightly smaller. Something else that I wasn't super careful with was that my original crescents were really small, but as my moons got bigger, the whole circumference of my circle also got larger. And so then I tried to rectify that as the moon got smaller to try to make the crescents a little bit smaller. But once the entire project is done, all those small mistakes are not even noticeable at all. So here are all 29 phases of the moon. I meant to do 30 and I missed one by accident, but that's okay because the lunar month is either 29 or 30 days. Don't forget to leave one blank for the new moon, which is right there at the very end. All right, so now it's time to work on this little plaque here that I want to display our peg dolls on. And I thought that I would do kind of like a swirly night sky, and it wasn't working quite as well as I expected because my wood had a lot of wax and other things on it. So I had to dip into that white opaque paint so that I could kind of give the entire wood block a nice smooth finish so that the rest of the paint could come on a little bit more evenly because some spots absorbed well into the wood and other spots didn't. So I kind of make it into like a swirly night sky, and then I decide it needs a little bit of color shine. So again, I'm dipping into my Mr. Huey's shine, and this is basically going to give it a nice shimmer. And I really enjoy doing these to our peg dolls, but a little goes a long way, and this time I put quite a bit on. So by the end of it, all of the artwork that I had done underneath is barely visible. All right, so I'm just going to swirl down all the way into the center. At this point, you can still see some of the color that's underneath it, but then I decided to do something completely different, and I add a bunch of color shine all over the wood block. And then to that, I'm also going to add Distress Inks by Tim Holtz. And I tried to kind of do a whole swirly effect, which looks really cool right here, but it doesn't dry quite as wonderfully as I'd like it, but it's still pretty cool in the end. So I'm just going to play around with this a little while. It does take a while for it to dry, so you just need to set it aside and give it a good hour to dry completely. All right, so while that's drying, I'm going to work on the hair for all of these little peg dolls. And though the hair is mostly going to be covered up by a little cap, I still wanted to do it because a little bit of the bangs and a little bit of the back are still going to show through, and so I thought that it would look nicer to do this. Now I'm going to work on the faces, and I want to make little sleepy eyes, and I wasn't quite sure how to make this, and so I'm doing it in pencil first, which is a great trick if you're not sure, because once you add your paint on it, that's it. If you mess up, it's really hard to fix a mistake like that. I'm also giving a tiny little mouth, and there are 2 cheeks on this one, but then I ended up not doing cheeks on all the rest of them, even though it's super cute. I'm going to come back in with my paintbrush and outline all of the eyes with some black paint. This was really tricky to do because it was hard to get a nice fine tip. So I'm going to show you a little trick on how to do that a little bit later on. But for the first one, I did it all with watercolor paint. So I'm going to just go very carefully and outline those eyes. You don't need to do the pencil first if you're just going to use the paint in the end, but I found that it was a great trick on getting it right, and if it wasn't, I could always erase it and try it again. So that's what she looks like. It's super cute. Here are a couple other ones that I've gotten started. Doing 30 was quite a marathon feat, but we got it done, and now I'm going to show you a little trick on how to do those faces without having to watercolor them. I have a felt tip marker, and I'm just going to outline the pencil marks with that marker. Now it will run in the wood grain, so you want to be really careful and use a fine tip. And then I'm using a Sharpie for the mouth, and that worked just perfectly. Now it's time to put on these little caps, which are basically semicircles. I just kind of played around until I got the size that I wanted so that it was just big enough to cover the head, but that there wasn't really any excess that came down behind the peg doll. And I copied a design that I did previously for 3 little heart peg dolls. All right, so 2 down, 28 to go. And all I'm using is some hot glue on all 3 sides of the head, and then I am just using my 100% wool felt for these little caps. It's super charming. I love this little detail. It looks beautiful in the end. The only problem is that the way the little hat kind of bows out on either ends makes it really hard for you to line up all of these little peg dolls together. So you can see here they're kind of staggered just because their hats just kind of get in the way, and they just barely all fit on this. Alright, so the last thing I want to do is actually number up these peg dolls and also write a little bit about the different phases of the moon on a couple of these peg dolls on the bottom part. So I put new crescent here, and then I come back and I take that off because new moon is actually the blank one. And so I'm just marking this as the first day of the month, which is when you see that new crescent. And then you can see that I'm just going to go all the way up to 29 or 30. I would recommend doing 30 even if the month is only 29 days, because the lunar month can vary between 29 and 30 days. And then on a few of them, I just added a little bit about the different phase of the moon, whether it was the first quarter or the waxing gibbous. And I just went online to make sure that I was getting the correct identification for each of these different phases. All right, so I'm just going to continue doing these. I'm using a Sharpie pen, which works pretty well, but it also does run in the wood grain, so I recommend using the finest tip that you've got. Alright, this is what they look like when they are all complete. I am so pleased with the way they look. I am so glad I made the little sleepy faces. They look so charming and adorable, like all those little moons are going to go to sleep. There's one more thing that I'm going to do for this project, and that is to add a peg doll, the largest one available, and make her into a sun. And I think that will look really charming along with all these little moon phases. Okay, so if you want to catch up on any of the other projects we were doing with peg dolls and finger puppets, I've left a couple of playlists here for you to check out. You can tap on the screen at any time. And if you want to see what we are up to on a daily basis, don't forget that you can find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine.